Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. I'm Handington and today we're continuing Spongebob Flash games. Now, I didn't see this from the original site. I'm on GameGape.com because the official Nickelodeon website can't seem to load some of these older Spongebob games. But on here, I saw Kah Rah. Now, this was one of the original Spongebob Flash games that was made, one of the first ones. I played this back in, like, 2005, if anything. I don't remember exactly when it came out. So, SpongeBob and Sandy are practicing their karate moves. Click them to try and land a hit. 3 hits unlock the special move. I remember the one where there's, like, a patty-making contest, and there's one where you fly up rock bottom. Oh, such great times. I loved those. It doesn't quite look like it, but this was back from being restricted. Like, they spent time on making this carefully, but they just didn't have all the resources to do it. SpongeBob and Sandy are practicing their karate, and you get to help. Use your mouse to sneak attack through their defenses. You can click on either SpongeBob or Sandy as many times as you want, and in any order you choose. Light up 3 stars over their character, and you get to perform one of 3 spectacular finishing moves. Finish him. I love their faces. So, we just look at them like this. They just move. They just keep doing this. This is the whole game. I love looking at their expressions. SpongeBob is just so silly. He's like, yeah, now he looks constipated. Now he looks super happy. Now he's just silly Sponge. And Sandy's like, ha, 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 huh? What is this, huh? Ha, 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 ha. I love this so much. There's barely anything that you can do on this. In fact, you quit at any point. You can just end the game whenever. So if I click on Sandy, I attack as SpongeBob. So essentially I can play as either one. Oh my gosh, I forgot that. Yes, you slap her head thing, and it like nearly breaks it, which is kind of dangerous. SpongeBob, she could drown if you hit that. You can kick her in the stomach, and then you can, oh, you were not able to do it. Then you can just stomp on her leg, and just beat Sandy up. Close, blocked. If she blocks, then you lose one of your stars. No, I don't know exactly what... Oh! I just realized! There is strategy to it! When she moves her, each of these 3 poses represents a different area that you can attack her. I thought it was just random when I was younger. You just have to wait to do a finishing move. So, I guess when she has her arm out like this, I guess her arm is something that would block it. So here, that would leave her head open, and then here, that would keep her foot open. Kicking would then make her vulnerable here. Now, she wobbles over, and I just smashed her helmet and, like, grabbed her nose. SpongeBob, you're about to kill your friend Sandy. I remember loving just how awfully morbid this is, and just how funny it is to just beat up these beloved characters. I don't know why it was so funny, but it was. And now here, Sandy will get her revenge on SpongeBob. She just breaks his leg. Poor guy, look at this. Now you just punch his entire face in. Just punch his face in. Finish him. He's woozy. And then she just slices him in half. He zips back up and they're fine. SpongeBob, cartoony, he'd be okay. I get that. Sandy, you just smash her helmet in. And her head just rolls around and spins in there. You're also, both of you are crushing each other's foot, but you like, cover up your knee as though you were getting hurt there. And I just kick her in the stomach, and now I smash her helmet in. This is awful. Not quite. Crunch. There we go. Now I beat up my friend. Slap! I have slapped my friend. Now I have kicked her in the stomach. I wonder what happens if I just let her wobble wibble. Look at that! She had another animation where she got to her feet. Alright, let's punch SpongeBob in his face. Oh, I just kicked him. I kicked him in the crotch and he farted.
Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
I kicked him in the crotch and he farted. What is this? Almost. And I just break his leg. Punch him in the face. Are there different finishing? There are different finishing moves from where I click him on the foot or not. I just completely rearranged his entire internal organs. Punch. For some reason, SpongeBob is a bit easier to beat up. Oops. I say that as I miss both of those times.
I missed both times, and then I fired, and I missed. This went on for several hours, and then I fired, and then I missed.
And you can also swap back and forth. One mouse, though, so two people can't play this. Alright, so let's now kick him in the crotch. She just yanked his arms off, and then we just grows him back. Alright, so we got to see all of his finishing moves. All the finishing moves on SpongeBob. Let's see the ones on Sandy. Helmet smack. That one was less brutal, actually. He just kind of, like, smacked his hands around. Alright, let's try for the finishing move on her feet. I just kick her in the stomach! Stomp! That was my favorite one, because I liked how silly her face looked when it became in the giant helmet. I remember her silly face when she was in the helmet here whenever you'd hit her in the head. And then you'd stomp on her foot, and then she'd go, yeah! And you'd have that face. And then SpongeBob, I always liked when he farted. I forgot that. And then you just punch him straight in the face. I never liked stomping on his legs. It's all coming back to me now. You just punch him in the face. Foomp! And his face was all doofy and goofy here. Just slice him in half. But also, they're just fine right afterwards. And then you hit quit. They bow. She just is like, and then SpongeBob is just dead-faced. 2003 Viacom. This came out in 2003, back when they had the Nickelodeon slime just popping all over the place here. Green. Oh, now it's just reloading. I didn't even click play again. Oh my gosh. I guess I just remembered loving the silly faces. Look at his face here. I just loved their silly faces. And of course, you gotta love the onomatopoeia. Foomp. Close. Cringe. Oh, his knee swells up. Almost. Foomp. No way. No way. Almost. Close.
So I fired again, and I missed, and then I missed again,
And then I fired again, and then I missed, and then I fired, and then I fired, and I missed.
Foomp. Slap. Not quite. Oof. Oh my gosh, Holly, play the Roblox sound over this next one. No, okay, don't play it over. Don't play it over almost. Don't play it over No. Nope. Oh, look what I can do. I can make him dance. She's just standing right there. She's just like, what is this child? I'm gonna kick you. I'm gonna kick you. You're not gonna kick me. I'm gonna kick you. I'm gonna kick you. SpongeBob, you ain't gonna kick me. I'm gonna kick you. I'm gonna kick you. No. Oh. Let's see if I can get 3 oofs in a row. Nope. We're gonna get another foomp. No way, foomp. There we go. Crush. And now she just slices him again. Look at that face. Did you see that face of pure evil that she had? She's just like, that'll teach you for hitting me multiple times in a row. Just a kick. Just a straight up kick to her friend. SpongeBob, why are you beating up your friend? And why is she beating you up in such vile ways? Good old karate. Back in the days where you could just beat up your friends. And it was just okay. The background doesn't move, but I love that they had... Like, this was made so that SpongeBob's pineapple was in the back, behind SpongeBob, and Sandy's tree dome was right next to her. Like, they used, like, the matte paintings, and then they scaled it and put it into the flat sand area. And they worked hard to, like, draw up all these other little animations here. You could just bow. Here, you know what? Let's play it again. Quit. And then a second bow. Fastest game end ever. It's just over now. I love that they made the font of the bow and the quit and everything. It's not just like basic text, basic Comic Sans or anything like that. Alright. So now to give it my rating. Despite the nostalgia, I'm gonna have to say it is not very intuitive as to what you have to do. But in a way, you know, people like how games, like, let you learn on your own. Eventually, I figured that out. I actually never knew that growing up. I just thought you'd click over and over, and then hopefully you'd get 3 hits. But, excuse me, yeah, you actually study all 3 of their animations, and then you hit them in one of 2 spots. All the animations were drawn up for the game. Even the background was, like, placed carefully for the look of it, and it was, like, thought out. Quality-wise, I would say that quality also involves, like, artwork that went into making it. I'd have to say, even though it was kind of goofy looking and it wasn't quite perfect or anything, not all of the games are going to look quite perfect. They're going to all look a little bit off, as each of them were drawn for the games themselves. They're not going to all be perfectly stylized or anything like that. I mean, some of them look kind of disgusting, like, this, so I imagine it would have to be appeal. And it entertained my young self. All the expressions were very silly. So, I think out of just the nostalgia for it, I'm gonna say the quality of that one was... The controls, while simple, was interesting. It's a unique game, in the sense that you just kind of study it and, you can just end at any point. Well, this starts to tie into the fun. The fun is just seeing everything that they do. But once you see that, there's no reason to go back to play it. And despite it being kind of fun looking at the look of it a little bit, just for nostalgia's sake, the only reason I went back was just to look at the silly faces. And, that's the only appeal to it. It's not a game. You just wait for them to get by, and then you click when you can. They do a finishing move. It has no weight or consequence, because they just finish. They just stop, and then they get right back again. So you know that you're not truly hurting each other, because they're just perfectly okay right afterwards. I'd have to say it was fun playing that once, but I don't think I would ever come back to it ever again in my entire life, or find any other meaningful value to it. And the fact that this game, I also need to remind you, came out in 2003, so it's not like it was during the time where they just had to draw whatever the heck, and it looked awful. They had time to think about it more, and, like, care about the game. That felt like that's the most that they could do? I don't know why, but I feel like that's enough for me to be lenient on that. The controls were interesting. Just a single click... My voice cracked. Thank you, awful voice. I know, I'm the highest quality reviewer there is on YouTube. Ha ha, ha, ha. And I talk about the low quality of these games. So, control-wise, it was interesting. It's very random. It doesn't really feel like you could actually do much besides just click and then hope. And it's actually even easier now that I know that, there's actually a rhyme and rhythm to it. But after seeing it maybe once, there's no value to it. There's no score, there's no other platforming or anything. You just click, you see the animations, and that's it. It's not like you're even fighting Sandy or SpongeBob as either one. You just click at any rate. So in the sense that it's unique, as in there are not many games like it, I will give the controls a 6 in the sense that they work. And the animations, when a move went through, actually looked nice. I got feedback. It felt like what I was doing made sense. It was just random. And the fun, I'm gonna have to just say it's a 0. It's a 0 on the fun. It's about as fun as the Cavity game in the sense that there's nothing to it. I mean, you could just start up that game and then stop it. There is really no fun to it besides the other thing. I want to give it a 1, but I feel like that would be going too easy on it. It's not a game. You just click random things. As much as, even though I had nostalgia for it, playing it back again, it is not a good game. You're also just beating up SpongeBob and Sandy, which in one way is hilarious, and in another way, it's awful. I can't really give this game that good of a review. The quality was high, but that was because it was made in 2003. And it feels about as good as one of these games that were made later. So, in the sense that these games, many of these games are awful, I'll go easy on it on the quality. But, man, oh man, oh man. I mean, Chalk Zone Double Trouble, that game was done pretty well. It was a little janky, but you know what? It's a free game that was on the website. This game, I'm gonna have to just give Kah Rah 2 out of 10. Because it was fun looking at it for a short time. But there's nothing to it. In fact, you know what? I should just give it a 1 out of 10. It was appealing, at least, to look at. It wasn't awful looking. But, yeah, final rating. That game gets a 1 out of 10. I had nostalgia for it because I just played it for the silly faces, and that is it. That is a nothing game. In fact, you know what? That's still too generous to it. I have nostalgia for that game, but honestly, no, it has some quality. The Cavity game had no care at all going into the look of the game. So for looks alone, which is the entirety of the game, it's all for just the look of it and seeing the animations, you get a 1 out of 10, Kah Rah. I'm sorry to do this, but you also were outclassed by some of the other older SpongeBob games, like the one where you fly up rock bottom, and the one where essentially it's Papa's Pizzeria, except as SpongeBob, making Krabby Patties, which is fantastic. So yep, it gets a 1 out of 10. Still better than the Cavity game, but I still have nostalgia for it. Okay, have you not left this during my rant? If so, thank you very much, but I believe it's that time again. If you like what I do, don't be shy to give a thumbs up. Have a pleasant day, everyone. This is Handington, signing off. Bye!
I missed again. I fired. I hit something, but it wasn't what I was going for, so I guess I missed. I'll pass that again.
And another popsicle.